Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so very glad you've stopped by because today I'm feeling pretty jaded. In fact, you might say I'm feeling so jaded. Pun of the century. As you can see, we have the Kathleen Lights X Colourpop So Jaded palette today, and we are going to be swatching, reviewing, and first impressioning this beautiful palette. So if you want to see what this priceless gem looks like, swatches like, and looks like on my eyes, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. I'm so excited! The moment I saw this palette, I was like, gotta have it! It's beautiful. It's mine. So of course it was. It just looks to me like it would smell like those suckers, you know, like the gem suckers. I wish it smelled like candy. I don't know if it does, but I don't think it does. Nobody's talked about it yet if it does. I'm gonna get this a little bit closer so you can see a little more details. There is the beautiful palette on the front, the unit carton. We have our gems and they reflect kind of gem-like. You can see that the light reflects in them on some parts but not on the others, so it really kind of looks like gems. And that's really cool. Then on the back, we have all of the shade names in their respective spaces that they go in. And then the sides are just the sides. That's all. And then we open it up. Oh, I haven't opened it yet either. I'm so excited. The palette itself also looks like the unit carton, so not much changed. And then the back, also not much changed. Pretty much the same thing. But then, let's open it. There's probably gonna be, yep, there is a plasticky thingy. Shield or whatever you'd like to call it. And if we open it, there is the palette herself in all her glory, all of her shades, in her beautiful loveliness. So as you can see, this palette is absolutely stunning in my opinion, and it is also the first eyeshadow palette that Colourpop has ever made that's been this big. This has 30 shades. I forgot what exactly they named it. It was like a mega, or I don't remember, but whenever I read the description, perhaps it will be in there, I'm not sure. Speaking of description, we are going to go ahead and pull up the Colourpop website, and I'm going to read the description for the So Jaded palette. With big ideas come even bigger palettes. In collaboration with Kathleen Lights, introducing our biggest palette ever. 30 super pigmented shades, including the perfect combination of matte and metallic shadows, 1 super shock shadow, and 2 pressed glitters. Inspired by crystals and gemstones, create a rich neutral eye or the perfect jewel-toned monochromatic look. This palette is everything. Also, cruelty-free. And this palette is $39. That means each shade in this palette is $1.30. That's pretty affordable. That seems kind of on track for Colourpop shadows, because I know like the monochromatic 9-pan palettes, those are $12 normally, so that's $1.33 per shade. So this is 3 cents less per shade. Like I said, it's pretty on track. So me being me and you being here, of course, we have to live swatch the palette because that's what we do. That's how we do over here. If you didn't know, hi, I'm ChristopherJMUA, or Chris, whichever one you'd prefer. And we live swatch every palette here. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in and we're gonna get started. So I thought I was recording when I wasn't, and that was my bad. The first shade was Diamond. And it's pretty much the same as what it was on my arm the first time. It's pretty much my skin tone, but it has white glitter in it, so you probably can't really even see it on camera. Then the next one is Rose Quartz. Next is the shade Ruby. Then Royal Jewels. Then Fluorite. Ooh, that's beautiful. It's a silver, but it's a purple, but it's a blue. Wow. And then Moonstone. Oh, another very beautiful shade. I feel like a lot of these aren't going to be super visible on camera just because of the shine that they have, but never fear, I will show you many variations. Then the shade My Precious.
My precious, Smiggl's precious.
And the shade Sunstone. Ooh, that is some bronzy perfectness. Yummy. The shade Pearl. The shade Citrine. Garnet. And Ametrine. The shade Peridot. Wow, that is gorgeous. I love that one. That is my kind of vibe. The shade You're a Gem. The shade Topaz. The shade Tiger Eye. The shade Opal. The shade Aquamarine. The shade Geodude. The shade Carnelian. Carnelian sounds right. Then we're gonna get Stoned. Then we're gonna get Jasper. The shade Turquoise. Then the shade Onyx. Wow. That is so gorgeous. Then the shade Emerald. The shade Jade. The shade Alexandrite. The shade Smoky Quartz. I feel like Smoky Quartz and Stoned would look really good together. Then we have the shade Amethyst. And the very last shade is the shade Sapphire. Man, I wish that would have been a shimmer. It's still beautiful, and it's a very solid matte blue. A lot of them are usually like patchy and kind of dried out, but this is a pretty creamy, solid sapphire. All right, and that is the entire Kathleen Lights Colourpop So Jaded palette. And as always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here and one without flash here. And now we have our video swatches. See, that one is just like all shimmer. You can't really see anything under it. Gotta say, I am rather pleasantly surprised with this palette. I'm kinda super excited. Oh, and those glitters. Look at that. Wow. Can you believe those swatches? Those were so good. And you know, this palette actually kind of... Okay, so this is the My Little Pony palette. Definitely not the same. I think there might be like some of the same tones a little bit, but it's definitely not the same. It sure felt like it though. Maybe it's the pan size. Maybe because the pan size is exactly the same, maybe that's why I felt like it was the same, but it's not. The purple's not the same. The pinky shade's not the same. The blue's not the same. Yeah, literally none of it's the same. But the pan size is the same, which this My Little Pony palette is also a gorgeous palette anyway. I don't think you can get it anymore, but it's a gorgeous palette. And now let's get started on an eye look. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. And I'm about to prime my eyes and I think I like it. I'm gonna use my P. Louise base again, as per usual. Seems like I always use this base. It's just so good. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I run out though. I'll probably just be sad and act miserable. Now I'm first gonna take my Sigma E50 large fluff brush and I'm gonna go into the shade My Precious and I'm just gonna pat that down everywhere to set my base. I really like this, guys. So this is the final look. What do you guys think? This shadow performed really well. I think it was great quality. It was... I'm just kidding. That was dumb. But I just couldn't help myself. Now, for real, my base is set. And what I like to do now is go in with the shade Geodude. And I'm gonna use my Morphe R35 to do so. Very crumbly shadow, that is for sure. A lot of kickback, but that's okay, because that does not affect how it goes on my eye. That just affects how it goes on my brush and how messy it is. Why do I like sort of love this shade? It's like brown, but it's also like greenish, but it's also like kind of orange. Listen, I don't know what color it is, but whatever color it is, it's pretty and I like it. It actually looks like my other eye. This could literally be its own look. Like at this point, you just grab a Super Shock shadow, pop it on the lid, you're done. Or one of the shimmer shades in this palette, or one of the glitters in this palette, you'd be on the go ready. This is an eyeshadow palette review, so we're gonna use more shadows than that. Now what I'm gonna do very quickly is go back in with my E50 large fluff brush and just kind of buff around the edges of this shade, just to make it even more of a soft blend. And now, using my Morphe M330, I'm gonna go into the shade Citrine very lightly. And when I say very lightly, I mean like no mas, very lightly. And I am going to go around the edge of Geodude and just start blending Citrine in where Geodude starts to fluff out. Ooh, yes, just like that. So it gives just that like slight yellow hint in between Geodude and my Precious, because I want it to be a hint of the same color as my shirt. And it is the same color as my shirt. See, it's yellow, but it's like, is it yellow? You know, is it really yellow? I don't know, that kind of yellow. Okay, I think that gave me just enough of that yellowiness to kind of tie it in, but it's not like yellow, you know? So now, what do I want to do? Now I want to go in with my Morphe M453 brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Jasper, just kidding. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And I'm going to just start building that up in my crease. Perhaps too much. Most likely too much, because that already feels like too much. But what's done is done. Here we are. Now this is one of the most crumbly shades I've used so far. I like barely tapped into it and it just kind of fell apart, so anticipate that. And now, I don't want to lose the shade Geodude because I really liked it, and I kind of covered it up with the shade Jasper. So what I'm going to do is go back in with the same brush I used before, the R35, go back in with Geodude, and I'm just going to blend Jasper and Citrine together with Geodude in the middle. Now hopefully this will work without taking away all the pigmentation I built up with both of those shades. Wow. Yes, I love it. I love it, I love it. That is beautiful. It's kind of smoky-ish, but it's yellowy. I don't know, it gives me like a woodsy vibe or something. Not sure what vibe it gives me, but whatever vibe it is, I'm vibing with it and I like it. It's like my shirt if I fell in the mud. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit more Citrine back on the M330 and just very lightly go around the edges just to make sure I don't lose all of my yellow tone, just to bring it back. Yes! I'm happy, I like it. And now with my little tiny M514, I'm gonna get stoned and I'm gonna put that right in my crease. And I'm gonna try and keep that mainly condensed just to the outer crease because I want it to just kind of deepen everything up, but just a slight bit, like just a little bit, not a lot. Okay, and I think that's enough. I didn't want a whole lot, just enough in the outer crease to make it kind of defined, essentially. And now I'm gonna go in with my other Morphe M330 into the shade Jade, and I'm gonna start putting her on the lid. And keep in mind, this is with no cutting the crease, this is no base or anything, this is just going right on top of other stacked up shadow. So naturally, it's not gonna be super pigmented at first, maybe even not at all, but that's okay because I don't need it to be. I just want the hint of the green shade to be on my lid because I'm gonna go in with something else in a moment. So that shade has now filled the crease. Honestly, this could be kind of a look by itself, just done. But I've gotta take it further than that. Now I'm gonna take the Morphe M124, my air conditioner interrupted me. How rude. As I was saying, I'm gonna take my Morphe M124 and I'm gonna go into the shade Peridot. Oh, it's so soft. And starting toward the inner corner, I'm gonna start applying that and moving toward my outer lid with it. Wow, this is gorgeous. Woo, I didn't spray that or anything. Wow, I'm really digging this, like quite a bit. I don't know that I've ever done like a yellowy green brown jewel toned look, but I'm really not mad at it. And now I'm just gonna take the M330 that I had the shade Jade on and just make sure that the edges between Jade and Peridot are blended. Now the last thing I wanna do is take the Morphe M514 brush again and go right back into the shade Stoned. And I'm just going to lightly apply that to my outer V. just so it's kind of deepened up out here and adds that dimension and definition to my lid. And then I'm just gonna take the same brush and go back around my crease just to make sure that none of that shimmer got way too high up. And there we go. That's that crease and lid side done. Oh, I really like it, and it matches my shirt, and I think that's what makes me the happiest. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do this same thing off camera, and once I finish it, I'll be right back. Other eye is now done. I'm very happy with this. I really, really like it. I did kind of extend the shade Peridot a little further out than just right on the inner corner, so it could be like lots more yellow, or lots more yellow green, if you will. But anyway, now I'm gonna go ahead and do all of my complexion products off camera so that I can get ready to add on eyeshadow to the lower lash line and finish off the entire eye look. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well, and I'll be right back in just a second. I've now finished my complexion products. It is a very light complexion day. I've been trying to let my skin kind of breathe a little bit, and today is included in that breathing time. So next, what I like to do, since I have all of this like yellowish, greeny, orangey type vibe going on up top, I would like to slightly continue that down into the bottom. So I'm gonna use my Morphe M431 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Carnelian, and I'm gonna start applying that over my lower lash line. Woo, that shade had some pigment. Jeez, wow. And now that I have that shade built up on the lower lash line, I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe M330, back into the shade Citrine, and I'm just gonna barely take this on this brush, and I'm gonna use it to smoke out the shade Carnelian. So far, so good. This is perfect, and I really, really like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the eye look. I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Space Dust. I feel like this is kind of perfect for this look. It's like a champagne-y, yellowy, goldy type shade. I don't know, it just looks really pretty. That's beautiful. I like that a lot. Oh, I think that's perfect. I'm so glad that I used that one. And now it's time to curl my lashes and add some mascara. Okay, mascara is completely done and lashes are curled, so that's done as well. Now what I like to do is go in with the Morphe M151 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Pearl, and we're gonna put that on the brow bone and see what happens. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Okay. Hello, Pearl. Jeez. I'm so glad I did that. Man. Wow. This is literally the perfect brow bone highlight for me. It's like my skin tone, but reflective. Now I'm just blending Citrine back in with that so that there's a nice flowy gradient between the two without it being too harsh. And now I'm gonna use the Morphe E36 inner corner highlight brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Diamond and put that right on my inner corner. Diamond, I believe, is gonna be more of a topper shade. Yeah, definitely. Okay, that's more of like a glittery top coat rather than a super shimmery inner corner highlight type shade. But I'm just gonna build up so much glitter that it's gonna look like an inner corner highlight. It's not gonna have any choice. By the way, Diamond is a very soft shade, so you don't need to press hard into it like I did. It's really, really soft though, and it's so pretty. But it's not the same color as my eye look, and I don't want to ruin my eye look. So just inner corner highlight, that's all. That actually finalizes this look, guys. I don't see anything else that I want to add to it, and I think it's a pretty good eye look. I've never done anything that's been like this kind of tone before, like, or not that I can think of, but just that like yellowy, greeny, browny, I don't know. I've just never done anything that's been like this color, I don't think. And I really like it. I think it pairs well with my eyes, and I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. Needless to say, if I haven't made it super obvious, I do quite love this palette. I love Colourpop palettes, period. just the quality for the price is beyond just about anything else that I know of that you can get at this type of price. So as you would assume, in my opinion, the Colourpop X Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette is definitely a recommend from me. I think it's really great that there are 2 glitter shades and a Super Shock shade in here, so you can experience multiple formulas just within the palette. I think it's awesome that this is the first time that they included this many eyeshadow pans into one palette, because it gives you a lot of options and variety, so you can create a lot of looks with one palette, and it's a super affordable palette as well. Not to mention the fact that you can create just about any type of look with this. Granted, they might all be kind of jewel tones because that's the whole vibe with this, but it's awesome that it's kind of the beginning of a new trend for Colourpop, that they're going to potentially have more palettes that are this size, and I think that's just a really awesome thing. So needless to say, I really love it, and I'm excited to get more looks out of this and to experiment with some more of these colors, because I don't have a whole lot of palettes that have these types of jewel tones in them, so it's going to be really cool to experience that. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like my content and this type of video, and it also lets other people find my video and my content, and just kind of helps spread the word. Just kind of helps spread the word, if you know what I mean. Also, if you want to see this look and more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this, and that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.